So how do you like it so far, being with the Oilers, and you walk up and the fans are saying hello and cheering your arrival?
Well, we haven't won or we haven't lost, so that's always a good sign. Hopefully December, January that continues, but as I said yesterday and when I got the job, there's a lot of work that we need to do. It's great that there is a tremendous amount of excitement, certainly led by Connor McDavid and his arrival and the rest of the group that's here, but it's still done on the ice surface for 60 minutes a night, and you have to win a lot more than we did last year.
When you look at Connor, and by the way, I may slide you over at any moment here, so please don't think that I'm being rude, but what do you know of him so far? What do you like? Is there anything you could potentially dislike? And I would think the answer would be no to the last part of that question.
And we're in the phase where he's beginning to learn a lot about us as a staff, not just Todd Mclellan, but the rest of the staff, and we're trying to get to know him as an individual. It's about building that relationship. We know he's a tremendous hockey player. It's been well documented by a lot of people outside our organization. What I've found out is he's a tremendous person too. Very humble, very focused, wants to learn, willing to learn, doesn't put himself above anybody else that's in camp, doesn't want to be treated special. And those are all real good signs of humility, and you like that in a young player, and we're going to encourage that a little bit more from him. When the veterans arrive and he begins to integrate himself with the hockey club, it's their responsibility to help as well, and we think that we can grow together.
Todd, I'm just going to slide both of us over here to the side. Someone just yelled, "Hey, McDavid, give us a smile." He's practicing. He's trying to make a team. And speaking of which, he said, "We'll see if I make the team." I mean, is there any way that he does not start opening night when the Oilers are in St. Louis to kick off the 2015-2016 season?
Well, let's face it, this young man is a tremendous talent. Like I said, it's well documented, and he has all the skill and the ability to play in the league right now, but he is 18. He's got a lot of things that are in front of him that he has to deal with. He mentioned it yesterday that it's no longer junior hockey, it's the National Hockey League, but we do expect him to be in our lineup. We expect him to earn that job and earn ice time and basically be an effective player for our hockey club in year one.
You've been around some incredible players, and I look at Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau and then others when you were with Detroit. How does this stack up to dealing with those incredible talents, even though it's just a week or so into Connor's life with the Oilers?
Well, my involvement with the players, not only in Detroit and San Jose, when I got there, they were already established. They were Joe Thornton wasn't an 18-year-old anymore. Steve Yzerman was near the end of his career. These individuals had time to grow physically and mentally. Connor is going to be doing that with us from day one moving forward. So it is a bit of a different world. It's a new experience for me as a coach, for our coaching staff. So we're looking to find ways to help this young man grow. We've done some homework talking to guys like Sidney Crosby that have gone through this and try and figure out what worked for him and maybe what didn't.
Did you talk to Sidney when you were at the World Hockey Championships, and what kind of advice did he give you in regards to dealing with the next player that looks like a Sidney Crosby type player?
Yeah, and it's fair and it's unfair to qualify Connor that way. He's Connor McDavid. He's going to be Connor McDavid. The generational player. Obviously, Sidney's that guy. But Sid's shared a lot with us. He was very open and very willing to help our organization, us as coaches, and in turn Connor about his environment when he stepped in. There was a lot of pressure. He had a very good rookie year. The team didn't. They ended up, I think, in 29th spot. So he had to learn to deal with that pressure. He had very good mentors around him. Mario Lemieux taking him into his home was real important. He was guided very well with the media and external pressures. Everybody wanted a piece of Sidney. They wanted him to attend this and talk about that and do this, but he needed time to rest. He needed time to grow mentally and physically. So they did a good job of dealing with that. So he was very forthright with us and something that we appreciated.
Listen, around here, you come from a great city and a good hockey market in San Jose. Not to downplay anything that you did successfully with the Sharks, but around Canadian markets, people care about the seventh defenseman and the fourth line winger, so they can only start to wonder about where Connor might fit. And I know it's July and it's not October, but do you already start to envision who his wingers might be, or where he might be best fitted to get him slowly going into his National Hockey League career?
We have thought that. You know, you look at the talent and the skill level that he brings, where he's effective, how he can use speed, where he prefers to distribute the puck, but we can't just build our team around Connor McDavid. You know, I mentioned that a long time ago. It's not about one individual, it's about the collective group. Everybody deserves and needs our attention as a coaching staff, so we can't just focus on Connor, and we'll try and put Connor in situations where he can succeed as an individual, pardon me, but more importantly where our group can succeed.
Are you amazed that an 18-year-old is able to take care of all this, considering it's the hockey stuff is not secondary, but there's so much that goes on around him?
There's a lot that goes on around him. He's obviously been in a very good environment at home. He's had good people around him to give him guidance, and he's experienced it for a while. This didn't happen overnight. This has been a 14, 15-year-old thing all the way up. So the people around him have done a really good job, and his humility, as I mentioned, is remarkable right now. And I think that allows him to be a likable young man, and there is no arrogance in his world at all. And I really appreciate that. I think that's an incredible quality.
Todd, we appreciate the quality of giving us time. I know you're here to watch them and not just talk about them. So enjoy the rest of development camp, the rest of July and August, and then we'll see you in September for the real thing.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Todd Mclellan, new coach of the Edmonton Oilers.